I feel like I should comment and have them be like, say hi to the vlog. But I feel like it's funnier if they don't know that they're on the vlog right now. So, look at my little beans. And now look at them with their cute little reading sprint. Well, I'm joining the reading sprint, but still, very cute. Very cute. And if you missed this live stream, you missed out. Well, we'll have more in the month. But still, look at how cute they look and how focused. Hey friends, it's Therese, the start of a new vlog. It is now week 2 of Trick or Treat-a-thon. 3? 2. 3? 2. It's whatever. I just got done doing my laundry. I cleaned my room up a bit. I should have dusted before I vacuumed, but you know, we don't have big brain thoughts here on this channel all the time, as we are aware. Right now I'm just catching up on everyone's Trick or Treat-a-thon vlogs. I think I'm almost there. I think I just have a handful left before I'm done, and I have to go back down to like 2.5 months to finish up July, because that's how far we are, and do that. Right now, aside from just, you know, doing that stuff, you guys missed the live stream. I ended up not being able to host. If you guys have seen my other vlog, then you know that, like, you know, my mood was kind of up and down this weekend. I wasn't sure how, like, energized I'd be. And I'm also feeling a little unwell because, you know, when your body is preparing you to bleed for a week, you're gonna have some issues. It was a really fun for what I was able to jump into. Really nice live stream. We will be playing a bit more and a couple of like reading sprints. I'm trying to brainstorm some ideas we could do for social media like Twitter and Instagram. So keep an eye out for those. But right now the plan is for Trick or Treat-a-thon stuff. Again, vlogs and going back down to videos. My vlog has been uploaded and is scheduled for 9 o'clock tonight, but I just need to do my thumbnail and the CC, which is all that I'm waiting for. So I'm gonna go do that right now, and then once that's done and I have CC done, then I can work on my bullet journal. I'm almost done. I just have to add a couple more ghosts like I said. Then I have to set up the week for next week, which I'm just gonna use a week, the same setup that I did from last week, because I never ended up using that one, but I have it there. It's just blank. It's fine, I'm fine, it's fine. My bullet journal is not only just a way for me to plan, but it's also a way for me to figure out my life. And you know, sometimes we don't always use our bullet journal, and that's okay. But I will catch up with you guys in a little bit. I haven't had a chance to read a ton of Wolf of Oreñaro. I read a little bit this morning, but it's not that it's slow, but it is just a little bit slow. So I have to like kind of lay down tonight before bed and really get into it. But I have been reading a bit more of A Golden Fury. It's okay. It's just a little weird because her mom has been in the process of making the Philosopher's Stone. And I don't know too much about the Philosopher's Stone myth. But from the looks of it, the process of making the Philosopher's Stone and creating it has driven her mom mad, so she has to be sent away to a kind of a world where people don't really appreciate women, because it's like, what, the 1800s? And so she's like, oh no, people are trying to take my work and blah 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 blah, and I'm just sitting here like, okay, I understand your pain. I'm not going to devaluate your pain because you are in a very misogynistic era. Granted, has that really changed from today? Who knows? But I'm just like, I just need something to let me know what the Philosopher's Stone actually does. Because right now, I'm just told it's a very fancy stone that makes people mad if you're not the one who can pick it up. And chances are, this girl's gonna be the one who's able to pick it up. So I'm just like... But yeah, I'll catch up with you guys probably later tonight while I am reading and update you guys before bed. But I swear, pinky promise, that I am going to have more things to vlog for the week than I did last vlog. But, you know, sometimes you just have a bad mental health week, and that's okay. That's why people invented cuddles and horror movies. So, slight update on the vlog. I got through all the week 1 Trick or Treat-a-thon vlogs that is on my subscription box. I don't know if anyone else has shared theirs on the Twitter account, but I didn't get a chance to check. And I went back and watched a bunch of like a handful of videos from July. I reached Reading Rush vlog, like Lisa's first Reading Rush daily vlog. And then I was gonna move on to another friend of mine's Reading Rush vlog 1, and then my Google Chrome panicked and force quit itself, and I'm too tired to scroll all the way down to 2 months ago. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish my October spread. We'll watch some of Haunting of Bly Manor because I want to get that show started. It seems so good and I love the first season. And I'm gonna finish my bullet journal for October, post that on Instagram, and probably go to bed reading A Golden Fury. So that is where I am with my night.
Maze ball acquired. We will have no more puking cats from food today.
Hey friends, it is now Monday. Yeah, it's Monday. I just got filming, as we can tell by the pretty lights turned on. We also got some stuff because I'm making cookies on Friday, Thursday. Got a maze bowl for my cats so they stopped throwing up. Good day so far. Last night I did end up finishing my October setup. I'll throw a little clip of what I have on Instagram here. I did get a chance to read a bit more of Wolf of Oñoro. Right now I was stuck pretty confused because it did a flashback? Yeah, flashback. I don't know why my brain was like, that's not a word. And it didn't explain that it was a flashback, so I was reading it and I was like, so we are currently in present tense, past tense, future tense? And I had to figure out that, oh, it was in the past, which wasn't explained very well. And I also don't really understand the relationship dynamic happening at the moment, but I'm sure that will be explained later. I read also a little bit more while I was in my doctor's office waiting of A Golden Fury, and I'm just not interested in it. I'm only 27% of the way through, and I'm just not interested in it. I don't know if it's the writing style or if it's the plot, but right now literally nothing is being explained. And I get it. I am 27% of the way through. It's literally just the beginning. But still, I'm sitting here like, I should not be this confused as to the state of what it's trying to explain. It literally feels like a sequel, but I'm pretty sure this is the first book in like a series. Because, you know, nowadays we can't have fantasy or anything involving the like in YA and have it be a standalone. We can't have fantasy in anything and have it be a standalone. No, it looks like it is just a single book. Okay. Well, that's fine by me. But right now, like I said, I'm like 27% of the way through. And I'm still just like, I don't understand what's going on. I'm hoping tonight to find... Well, tonight I'm going to watch more of Bly Manor. And I'll explain a little bit of that after a shower. Because this face is getting oily. But I'm hoping tonight to find spreads for the rest of my bullet journal. And get that done before the end of the week. So I can start using it like a normal person again. And then look at images for this mood board that I want to do for my finished draft, which I finished a couple days, like a week or two ago. But yeah, I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit because my sister seems to want to do something and I need to be off the camera for her to do said things. Alrighty, I'm about to start watching Bly Manor again. Well, watching Bly Manor as I try to look for spreads for my bullet journal. And I just want to talk about Bly Manor. So I've only seen the first episode and as I was watching it, I was like, this sounds oddly familiar. So I did a quick Google search. Sherman? Please stop. Thank you. So I did a quick Google search and it's apparently based off the novel Turn of the Key. No. Sherman. It's based off, yeah, The Turn of the Screw by Henry James, the novella. And I was like, I haven't read that novella. But I thought about it and I was like, this is because a movie a couple months ago, before the pandemic really hit, called The Turning with Flynn Wolfhard came out, and it's the same plot as, because that was also based off of Turn of the Screw by Henry James. I didn't enjoy the movie too much, primarily because it didn't explain a lot of the situation. It was just a lot of like kind of cheap jump scares, some psychological aspects in it, and it was just kind of So I'm expecting for The Haunting of Bly Manor to follow a similar pattern. Just a couple of jump scares here and there, some shadows, and then mainly focus on the psychological elements because I know that Turn of the Screw is very psychological thriller kind of heavy, so I'm not expecting it to be as scary or as horror centered as Haunting of Hill House, but more psychological and seeing like kind of the slow descent into madness, which I can see why some people who have watched the entire season don't seem to like it as much if they're expecting something like Hill House. Because Hill House is definitely like classic horror, whereas Haunting of Bly Manor is just psychological and thriller and very much slowly going into the descent. But I'm interested to see how they're going to change this up. So I'm interested to see how this is going to work out, especially since I think there's a different reason why the main girl, Kate, I think her counterpart in the movie is completely different, had a reason for coming to London, and it doesn't seem to be her trying to run away from the fact that in the movie, she was kind of trying to hide away. She was a teacher who moved away because her mother was slowly descending into madness herself. I think she had a mental health issue, and I think her mother was just slowly deteriorating in the home, and she didn't want to watch that, so she left. I don't know about this one, judging by the weird ghost in the figure. I'm assuming potentially abusive relationship, or maybe something happened with the children. That's my thoughts right now. I'm only on the second episode, so I'm gonna go ahead and watch that, look for bullet journal stuff, and I will get back to you guys about my comments about how far I've watched so far. I swear this won't be a Bly Manor vlog, but 9 out of 10 is gonna be like 80% Bly Manor, and I'm okay with that. So I can't lift the cover that much, but look at what I made. It's still cooking.
That's my phone.
But look what I made.
You left it upstairs.
Okay, I'm done now. Genuinely believe that YouTube's automated CC can sense that you have shit to do after this. Like 10 out of 10 can sense it. Because I uploaded my video and it went up and it's ready to go around like 8:30. It is now 10:30 and there's no auto CC for a 7-minute video. And it's like, you know, I get it, auto CC sucks. However, I tend to use auto CC and edit it to make my own CC. And I'm sitting here having edited and heard my own voice for the past how many hours, and I have to hear it how many more times to do CC? Like, it's important to me for me to do CC, which is why I'm like, I need to have CC done. But I'm sitting here like, it has been nearly 2 hours. No, it's 10:30. It has been 2 hours since this guy has been officially like uploaded. And no auto CC. But somehow it managed to get auto CC done for my 33-minute video in half an hour. The fucker can smell fear. But hello, it is now Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday around 10:30, as you guys could tell. I have been reading quite a bit. I finally reached halfway, or a little over halfway, with Wolf of Oreñaro, which means I can start reading The Diviners tomorrow. But I want to get a little bit more into Wolf of Oreñaro tonight before bed. I am enjoying it. I think it's starting to get really interesting with the plot of Raelle being kidnapped, there being an assassination attempt, and her kind of with this budding friendship, partnership, you bug me but you're here ship with Keen. I just need a glossary. But I really enjoy it. It's pretty interesting. It's a pretty fast-paced read. The one thing I don't like is all the flashbacks, because it doesn't tell you when it's a flashback. Like, you know, there's like no year or anything on it, and I don't understand the symbols at the beginning of every chapter, so I can't tell you if it's like, yep, this is in the past, this is in the present. I just kind of have to figure it out when she mentions age, and even then, it's hard to know age until she mentions it, and I'm sitting here like, you know, I didn't know you were like 12 in the previous flashback, and now you're 13, mentioning how you were almost run over by a dragon when you were 12, so I'm sitting here like, that would have been nice information to know. I'm hoping to have it done soon, if I can get like to 75% by tonight, which I feel like I should after this episode of Bly Manor, because I really want to finish this episode. Because I'm sensing gay vibes, and I need to confirm it with myself. It's fine. I'm hoping to get through 75% by tonight, and then tomorrow I can get through the rest and finish up, and then I can start another book. Which other book? But that is basically it for the books as of right now. Like I said, I'm enjoying it. Well, actually, part of me is a little confused on Talien's personality, because she's always like, yeah, I was trained to be a super strong warrior, blah 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 blah, and then she just jumps into battle, and I'm sitting here like, I feel like your papa told you to think strategically before you do things, but we're not gonna get into it. I feel like we'll see more action, because everyone's like, oh yeah, it's gory, and I'm like, pero where's the gore? So I think I'll see more of that once I get closer to the end of the book. But yeah, that is basically it for this update. I need to watch this episode / wash my face and put stuff on these pimples that are popping up because of hormones. Hey friends, it is now Thursday. Just got home from work. I'm updating the CC on my recent video because I did not upload it all last night. Did not get a chance to read last night. Oh, that was a lot lower than I thought. I ended up being very, very tired, and I fell asleep, or almost fell asleep during Bly Manor, but I powered through, and I watched this episode and then went to bed. Do all the uterus holders ever get this weird feeling, like toward the end of your period, where you're craving things? Like, I don't typically crave them during or before. Before, I'll typically crave like a lot of like greasy stuff and all that stuff, but after, like toward the end of it, I'm always craving sweets, so I went to get brownies. I got these from Smith's, and they're hecka good. Highly recommend if you have really bad cravings. But to get a chance to read through, I think I'm almost 75% of the way through, so I'm hoping to read that before bed tonight. I don't have a lot of time to really update you guys. My partner's coming over, we're making cookies, and he is staying over for dinner, I hope. So I have to do that. I have to finish the CC. I need to finish getting ready. Well, I'm not getting ready. I have to clean. But I need to finish the CC, which I think I'm almost like this is only a 7-minute video. Which, like, surprisingly, I say a lot in 7 minutes, but still. So yeah, I will get back to you guys when I get some more reading done. When I vlog, I'm going to try to sneak in the vlogging of the cookies because they're white chocolate chip and candy corn. But I'm going to split the recipe so that way it's only like half and half of candy corn and just white chocolate. And half will have, no, it'll just be half white chocolate and then the other half's going to be white chocolate and candy corn. So I'm just like, but yeah, I will see you guys in a little bit. Sherman. Shermie. Shermie. Hey. Nope. Hey friends, it is now Friday night. I almost said Friday Eve. I haven't done much since I got home. I literally took an anger nap and woke up at 8 and then took a shower and then had dinner. So the plan for the rest of the night is as follows, as we be listed by the bulleted points because I like to do lists. Finish Oreñaro. I was so close to almost being done and I have a couple of thoughts. Work on my bullet journal and then start The Diviners. And Wonder Woman. And then probably plan a little bit. I have written down some notes for this book of mine that I'm going to be writing in Nano, but I haven't done like a full-blown like outline. So I need to get to that. But yeah, I will catch up with you guys in a little bit. I'm sure I'll have some vlogging content of me reading and finishing this book. Friends, it is now Saturday morning. I was meant to update you guys last night, but my camera battery died, so hence why the vlogging content was not as long as I would have hoped. But I finished The Wolf of Oreñaro last night, 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was super engaging, and there were definitely instances in the book where I could not put it down. Definitely very gory, so content warning for gore, murder, physical, and I believe sexual assault. But I really enjoyed it. Like I said, it's very addicting in certain parts of the book where I just could not put it down. My biggest issue was one, this is more nitpicky. I had no idea how to pronounce anything. No idea. Like, it's not a big deal necessarily, but for me, when I'm like trying to explain characters like thoughts or like trying to talk about a character and I mispronounce their name, I just feel bad. Not even so much that they're a fictional character, but someone took the time and effort to create this character and like make them feel like a real person, and I can't pronounce her name for shit. So I'm just like, can we normalize glossaries and indexes? I also felt like the plot twists had gotten a little repetitive. Again, it's not a big deal because it did tie back up in the end. It did tie everything together in the end. But I felt like it was a lot of like, oh yeah, there was an assassination attempt. She runs into men who are not great men. Things almost happen, and then she manages to either save herself or Kyne, I'm gonna go with Kyne until I'm told otherwise. Kyne somehow goes in and like saves her or helps her out. And that was kind of the running plot from the beginning. So like, while I did enjoy this book, I feel like those plot points, like I said, it did tie everything back up together. So I really did enjoy that. But I think in the aspect of having something that wasn't like having plot cycles that weren't super repetitive. That was kind of getting on my nerves a little bit, just because like 10 out of 10 when she almost got assassinated for like the third time, I was like, she's gonna not the third time, I'm a bit exaggerating, but I think there were like 2 assassination attempts, maybe 3. I kind of knew where it was gonna go, how it was gonna plan out, and like, yeah, like I said, I really did like this book. I think it's a wonderful setup, and I think this is her K.S. Veloso's debut novel. So it's a beautiful debut novel, and I can't wait to pick up the second book, which is The Ikisar Falcon. Oh. I'm intrigued. So I will go ahead and let you guys know when I pick that up. But yeah, I really like this, and I'm very happy that it was very highly recommended to me. Like I said, the 4.5 isn't a bad thing, it's just more me nitpicking, but definitely super excited to continue on with the series and see where it goes. Now, I have a couple of things I need to do today because I have plans later tonight, so I will be leaving in the afternoon. You probably won't see me until Sunday. I am also currently in the middle of A Golden Fury because I have not read more of that book. I don't know what it is about the book. It's a fine book. It's an okay book, but it's just, I'm just not getting interested. Like, the concept's super interesting, but like, and the cover is fucking gorgeous, but when I read about it or think about reading about it, I just don't get excited. Not at all. On top of that, I also have the Diviners, which is part of the readathon that I'm currently hosting for the werewolf prompt, as you guys are all aware. I'll be reading that primarily at night. I also have Wonder Woman Warbringer, which is for Faye, which is pick up a book that you've always been scared to pick up, which I'm buddy reading with Lisa, and I'm also buddy reading the Diviners with both Lisa and Andrea, so that's a fun time. Haven't started them just quite yet, even though I know what happens in the Diviners because it's like the 3rd time I've reread it. I also, because I completely forgot this, I also started to read Why I Am No Longer Talking to White People About Race by Rennie Edo-Lodge. This has, I don't know how many, 181 pages, so I feel like I could finish this in like probably 2 nights. So I have 6 days to finish that, which like I should be worried about, but I'm not too worried about just because, you know, fast reader. I'm not tooting my own horn here, but that's what it is. So I'm probably going to spend, if I have any free time tonight or later today, reading those, A Golden Fury and Why I'm No Longer Talking About Race. And then I'll probably pick up the Diviners tonight when I get home, and then we'll start probably Wonder Woman Warbringer on Monday. But yeah. Who's my sweet little boy? Pay attention to me. Hey. He just cleaned himself, so anytime I touch him after he's cleaned himself, he's like, no, Mom, watch. And he cleans me, so that way I am clean. For his standards, yeah. Hey friends, it is now Sunday morning. I need to wrap the vlog up and start editing it. And I've been laying in bed since I woke up at like 9, so it is now like 10. So last night, after I got home, I did do some more reading, but it was not for anything in the TBR. I ended up reading more of Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race. It's a pretty easy read. It's basically a bunch of British history, which I completely forgot that it was mainly British history. Like, I've had a lot of people talk about British history in the book, and then somehow my brain was like, we're just gonna forget this little tidbit. But I really enjoy it, primarily because I live in America. You know, we have, even around the world, it's very American-centered history. A lot of the things I grew up was that a lot of America was very heavily in the whole like slavery, racism, so it's sometimes a little hard to wrap your head around the fact that, like, you know, other places, specifically England and like the UK, had a big hand in racism, and a lot of that stemmed in that general area. So I think learning about British history was a nice little, like, not so much I want to say like a wake-up call, because I knew that slavery was happening around the world during this time, but more so kind of like a reminder and really setting it in stone that it's not just America, which I feel like a lot of people tend to forget that, like, you know, everyone's like, oh yeah, America's racist, but I'm like, but where did it start? You know, because we lived it wasn't very white in America before a lot of the Europeans came over, so I really like this very much around that history aspect, and I'm learning a lot more about kind of the beginnings of like history of like slavery and a lot of like the very racist problems in other countries as well, which is not, like I said, not eye-opening because we've been new in this household, but it's nice to kind of not get a refresher either, but just what's the word I'm looking for, and learn more. So it's been very interesting. I think I'm like 10% of the way through. I fell asleep while I was reading it last night. My sister and I were watching Calabar's Revenge, and I was like, I'm just gonna read a little bit during like this really boring part, and I fell asleep. It's been interesting so far, and I'll probably read a little bit more today, and then start the Diviners tonight. I'm waiting to start Wonder Woman Warbringer until Monday, tomorrow, because Lisa is apparently very behind in all the read along, on all the buddy reads that she agreed to. Girl. I also finished all my sketches for my bullet journal setup, so I'll probably be finishing that sometime this week, hopefully tonight or tomorrow, depending on the situation. But yeah, that's another reason why I don't want to do plan with me on this channel, is because it takes me, like, depending on how much time I have, it can either take me a couple of days to do a bullet journal like theme setup, or it'll take me a week. And then for like, that's just like this, like a monthly setup, and then I do like the full on like bullet journal setup. And if I don't already decide what I want in that said bullet journal for like the general setup, it'll sometimes take me either a week to several weeks to doing it, because then I have to find the spreads that I want to do, how I want the spreads to look, colors, decorations, and it's just a big hullabaloo of things that I don't want to do, or I don't want to like share with you guys and like have to keep like recording. But yeah, but I will have another journal with me video up in a couple of weeks. I just need to, I think this week, spend the week figuring out what I want to do and what I want to put on said spreads, and that'll be in my old journal before officially switching over to my new one, even though I still have to finish spreads in that old one, but it's fine. But yeah, that is basically it. I did get quite a bit done coming back on the camera, because I realized I cut it off like a clip and not an actual vlog is done. But that is it for this vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any video ideas you want me to do, or let me know how you guys have been making progress in the books that you have been reading for Trick or Treat-a-thon. But until next time, hit like, subscribe, and comment. And my social media links will be down below for you guys if you want to go ahead and check it out and see what else I'm doing, how much I'm screaming about the books that I am currently reading. And until next time, I hope you guys are having a wonderful week, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!